There's a lot of back orders right now. And I mean, you guys are all probably familiar with it. It's not just auto parts. I mean, it can take 4 months to get a chair delivered to your house or a desk. It's just the way it is. And so, how do we deal with these friction points? Because we don't want to take a good opportunity, i.e. an increase in traffic, an increase in demand, and just throw that away because of these shipping delays and back orders. So how can we communicate this to a customer so we don't lose that sale?
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that we can do is, if you're going to have a longer processing time, if you're checking any one of these boxes, right? Like if you're down staff, if you are, if you have down staff because of COVID, down staff because of, people just walked off the job, and that's happening. People not coming back. That was a big thing when things started to open back up. People just didn't want to come back because they were making more money on unemployment. And so, what do you do? How do you, handle these things? And the biggest thing that that consumers want is they just want to be communicated to. Just be acknowledged. And I say this all the time. Just acknowledge your consumers, and acknowledge them as soon as possible, as soon as you can. And we're all consumers, right? And we just want to be acknowledged. If it's going to take a little bit of time, hey, look, we're in a worldwide pandemic right now, and people are a little more reasonable right now about these things. And it's like, oh, okay. And, we just want to be acknowledged. You and I personally, one of our partners, got COVID, right? And he was out, and he wanted to cancel all these orders. And I said, hey, hold on a second. Why don't we take this approach and see first, before we cancel all these orders that we've paid money to acquire? Why don't we reach out to everybody and say, hey, I've got COVID. I'm not going to be back in the office until I'm scheduled to be back in on this date. I hope you can understand. I apologize for the inconvenience. If you'd like to cancel the order, you're more than happy to. But if you like to keep the order, no response is necessary. And if something changes, we'll be in touch, or please, don't hesitate to give us a buzz. And you know what happened? Nobody canceled. No one canceled. And the responses that we got back from people were really positive. And, they were like, hey, I hope you're feeling better. Like, people legitimately cared. A lot of the responses, there was just a good, it was just kind of a feel good thing. I was like, oh, right. Well, people are, people actually
some good humans
care.
Out there.
Yeah.
It's refreshing.
And, and people waited, and he actually took a little longer to get back into the office. And there were, after that week and a half, there were a couple people that did cancel, but 98% of those orders, people stayed. And It was because we acknowledged the consumer. We let them know. I always, say, hey, use the 3 A's: act, acknowledge, apologize. We knew that there was going to be an issue, and we acted upon it. And we told everybody the situation. We apologized, and acknowledged that, hey, you've placed this order with us, and I'm sorry. It's going to be a little bit longer for us to get to it. Is it all right? Mm-hmm. And if not, completely understand.